Welcome to Taz Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Today is March the 29th, 2025. We're going to be talking about Friday Night Smackdown because WrestleMania is coming up very soon. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy for next week. But ladies and gentlemen, our comment shout out to goes to Pro Wrestling Reality. And he commented on the video of TNA Impact, March 20th, 2025. That's a long day. A lot of days went by. He said, thank you for sharing wrestling history. No problem, Pro Wrestling Reality. That's what I do. Right? That's what I do. So ladies and gentlemen, that's the, thingamabobber. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. That's the, shout out. Pro Wrestling Reality. Thanks for, giving me a comment and saying, a nice, comment. Like I said, I won't give you a shout out if you give me a mean comment. I am not showing you out. Ooh, chocolate milk. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about SmackDown because we have a contract signing for the biggest triple threat that's not really having a title match or a number contendership, but it's a big triple threat match for WrestleMania history. And it's the first time, I will tell you guys, this is the first time. I will tell you guys when we get there, but we heard that next week, it is revealed that Rey Fenix making his debut next week on SmackDown. His name is Rey Fenix, not just Phoenix now. It's Rey Fenix. They showed the last video package of Rey Fenix. They showed us his face and they showed us his name and they said he's debuting on Friday Night SmackDown next week. The sad part is that he's not going to team up with Penta, but it's understandable that he just started, right? They can't go for the tag titles right away because Phoenix didn't get a match or win a match on WWE. He doesn't have a record. Not yet. And Penta is, he had multiple matches. He had a pay-per-view match. Rey Fenix didn't have that. So, Phoenix needs a singles run for a bit. And maybe the draft will put them together. Who knows? Or they could do that trading thing, that window thing, transfer stuff, and Mr. Phoenix could go there. I have no idea, but anything could happen on WWE. Ladies and gentlemen, I just saw on Twitter, on social media, 2K25 is going to do a big patch. They're putting some new things in there. They're going to put the current NXT Championship belt, because we have the old school rainbow looking ones. And we don't have the silver ones that they have for the black and silver brand. We don't have that, and they showed us that coming soon, that belt is coming, and it's going to be on Oba Family if you want to do that. Of course you want to do that, because he's the champion. And they just announced today that they're going to put the Saturday Night's Main Event Arena that we've been seeing the last two times Saturday Night's Main Event was here. They're going to put that in the game as well. You got Saturday Night Main Event Arena. And you know what's cool about it? Is that now all the Saturday Night's Main Event stuff, the nameplates, like the transition thing, you could use that and you could use it for the like a classic Saturday Night's Main Event. Because right now, you can't really make a classic main event. Well, Saturday Night's Main Event. Technically you could, but the transparency, whatever it's called. That thing. But there's some things that you can't use, but now they're going to bring the Saturday Night's Main Event. I don't know when the patch is coming out. It might be Monday or Tuesday. Normally they do these things. Or maybe on April. Because April is on Tuesday, right? April 1st. I hope it's not on Tuesday because it's going to be April Fools. So, let's see what happens there. So, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about Ray Phoenix. We didn't get a lot of segments. We got a whole bunch of matches, and we got one big segment, and that's the end of the show. We got the Street Profits versus Pretty Deadly for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Pretty Deadly was getting a tag team title shot in their hometown in London. And it was a pretty decent match. The winner of that match, and still your WWE Tag Team Champions, was the Street Profits. And then we got Piper Niven and Alba Fire, I forgot, they had a name. They have a tag team name. What was it? The Private Security? Something like that? They were dressed as security for Chelsea Green, and they never took the suits off when they wrestle. They wrestle with the black jacket and the black pants on. I don't know how you do that, but you did it. They did it. They will go in the tag team match against Kaden Carter and Katana Chance because Zelina Vega's a little upset because she got cheated on by by Chelsea Green and Alba Fire against her match against Piper Niven. And Katana Chance and Kaden Carter was saying, yeah, you got screwed. You got screwed on the match, so how about you have a match with us and see if you actually could win. The winner of that match was Piper Niven and Alba Fire, so they did get the win. And then there was a 3-on-2 beatdown until Zelina Vega tried to make the save until she got beat down by those three as well. It could turn into a 6-person tag team match on next week's Smackdown in Chicago. And then we have Braun Strowman versus LA Knight for the United States Championship. Braun Strowman won the match, but he did not win by pinfall or submission. He won by DQ because he got attacked by Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu just destroyed Braun Strowman. But after he beat up Braun Strowman, Solo wasn't really happy with what he did because I guess Jacob did not tell Solo what he's doing. But Jacob says, I will be the last man standing when it's between me and Braun Strowman. So I'm guessing there's going to be a match at WrestleMania between Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman in a last man standing match. He says he's going to win that United States Championship with or without Solo and Tama Tonga. That's what's going on there. Is Jacob Fatu going to face Solo or Braun Strowman at WrestleMania? It sounds like it's going to be a last man standing match because he said it. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we were supposed to have Charlotte Flair versus Mitchin, but because Mitchin and B-Fab was supporting Jade Cargill in the backstage, she had an interview talking about Naomi, and they both said they said about Naomi that it wasn't right what she did. And then they got into the ring. Mitchin was getting ready for a match until Naomi was behind them and attacked them both. Until Jade Cargill, Naomi was attacking more on B-Fab more than she did on Mitchin because she was doing the Hulk clobbering things on the table. So, yeah. And then Jade Cargill came out to chase off Naomi. Well, ladies and gentlemen, another person made a debut. It's not a wrestler. It was the ring announcer because Lillian Garcia is going to be a part-timer now. She will be part of the Saturday Night's main events, or when if WWE needs her, she will do it. But she's not going to be a full-time, and she's not going to be the SmackDown's ring announcer. So we have this guy named Mark Nash. The guy has a dang big mouth. That's a good thing. He has a voice on him. He's good. It sounds like he's good, and I kind of like him. Until I figure out more about this guy. Until I hear more announcing when he announces people. So Mitchin was still doing this, or has to do her match, so she had a match with Charlotte Flair. It was okay. Mitchin has some defense, but the winner of that match was Charlotte Flair. She did not attack her after the match. She let go of the figure eights, but Tiffany Stratton had some words to say. That Charlotte Flair has a lot to lose at WrestleMania, because if she loses, she's not just lost. She loses the title match, and she loses to a rookie. Tiffany Stratton says she doesn't have anything to lose. She loses her title, but she loses to a legend. Charlotte Flair. She had a match with Charlotte Flair. She might not be able to beat Charlotte Flair. So, who has a bigger law? If they lose, who loses everything? It sounds like Charlotte Flair because she's a legend, she's a top star, and she loses to a rookie. That's not good for her. And then we had Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton because I forgot the beginning of this show. Cody Rhodes came out to talk about John Cena. Randy Orton came out and said a whole bunch of things about Cody Rhodes, nice things. And then Drew McIntyre ruined it. There's a short result on that. And then I believe Cody Rhodes attacked Drew McIntyre, and they got rid of him. So we got Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. It was a pretty okay match. It was short. It got cut short because Kevin Owens made the distraction. The winner of that match was Drew McIntyre after the distraction of Kevin Owens. And then we had a brawl between Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. Kevin Owens tried to do a power driver onto Randy, onto the announce table until he reversed it and was about to do the punt until he Kevin Owens jumped over the barricade and ran away. And then we got Jimmy Uso versus The Miz in the main event. Seriously, that's the main event? That's the main event? So Jimmy Uso gets the win, of course, and he will have a match on Raw in London against Gunther. Of course he's going to win against The Miz. He has a big match on Raw. Why would he lose to The Miz? So Jimmy Uso won that, and then we have the contract sign, and Roman Reigns came out as he wants people to acknowledge him. He likes London, how they sing his name, and all that stuff until he got interrupted by Seth Rollins. And Seth Rollins said the same thing. That I could have got rid of CM Punk, the cancer, the evil guy, but you made it worse. Because you could have ended him at War Games, but you shook his hand to Roman Reigns. And he says, I could have done that in the steel cage, but you ripped me out of the steel cage to attack me. And he says, now at WrestleMania, I had to do what I have to do again. I had to save the WWE by destroying CM Punk. And then CM Punk came out, and he was looking through the contract because there's something in it, and Roman told him where it is. He told him what page and what section and all that stuff, but he couldn't find it, and he told Paul Heyman, tell him. And what is in that clause that CM Punk wanted is something that he really dreamed about. And this match, this triple threat match, is not just going to be in a random part of the card. It's going to be the main event of WrestleMania. CM Punk's dream was to main event WrestleMania. And he's going to main event WrestleMania. But Seth Rollins is not happy about that. He's saying no, he crashed out. I don't know what the hell that means. People are saying crash out now. What is kids are thinking of now? And more of these words. He's not happy. Remember what Seth Rollins has been trying to do to make sure that CM Punk does not main event WrestleMania. That's why he screwed him out of the Elimination Chamber. That's why he wants to destroy him in the steel cage to make sure he doesn't main event WrestleMania. But thanks to Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, he gets that thing. But CM Punk was thinking Seth Rollins, I think, and he was thinking the fans. But Roman says, you should be thanking me, and you need to acknowledge your tribal chief. CM Punk acknowledges the tribal chief. He said his things, but there's something else that Roman Reigns did not know. CM Punk says that wasn't the favor that I get. So the Paul Heyman favor is not main eventing WrestleMania. What else is the favor? I have no idea. Smackdown is getting more hotter than Raw right now. Oh man, it's getting more hotter than Raw. But remember, CM Punk and Seth Rollins are the two guys that's on Raw, and the regular Smackdown more hotter. because they have Roman Reigns in it. And now everybody's still thinking, what in the world is this favor now? It's not main event WrestleMania. I thought it was. That he could get his hands on Roman Reigns and try to get his hands on Seth Rollins and be main event of WrestleMania. But no, it's not that. It's not the favor. What is the favor? I'm excited to see Rey Fenix to come to WWE. He's good in the ring. I'm hoping that he could do everything that he did in AEW, but more safer, where people don't land on their heads. So I'm hoping that he could do everything that he could do. Penta kind of could do everything that he did in AEW. He does his flippy doos, and he does the Mexican Canadian Destroyer. Mexican Destroyer. He could do everything he could do, even his Penta driver and his arm breaker thing. That is really looks nasty to look at. But yeah, I'm hoping that Phoenix could do whatever he could do. I think there's some things that he won't be allowed to do, but maybe he could switch it up and make it more safer, and he could do it. I'm hoping. And we heard about Aleister Black, or this other mystery guy, and it looks like he's coming on April 25th. That's after WrestleMania on SmackDown. So SmackDown is getting another superstar. Raw is getting nobody. They got Penta, but that's it. And SmackDown is getting 2 people. And we heard that Miro might be coming back to WWE in the end of the year. So get ready to wait for that. I'm hoping that he comes to Raw because SmackDown already got 2 guys. Raw needs a guy. So we will see what happens here. And I can't wait to see it. Even for Aleister Black. I've always been a fan of Aleister Black. So let's see what happens. That's all for me today. Taz out. See you guys on Tuesday for Monday Night Raw results. I don't think there's a pay-per-view happening this weekend. That's all for me today. Taz out. Bye!